What's going on, G-Men fans? Welcome to NY Giants Talk. Like I said before, today I was dropping the schedule prediction video, and let's get into it. Let's not waste any more time. Happy Friday. Let's go, G-Men. Let's get into it. Week 1, it's going to be a tough one out in Nashville. We play the Tennessee Titans. They are a very good team, former playoff team, have one of the best, not if not the best running back in the league in Derrick King Henry. He's stiff arming guys. He's throwing them guys on the field like rag dolls. It will be a tough matchup. Tannehill is a very good game managing quarterback. They got a good defense led by head coach Mike Vrabel. He knows his defense, and they like to get after the quarterback. As you saw in the playoffs, they sacked Joe Burrow like 8 or 9 times. Bengals had a shaky O-line. Giants still have kind of a shaky O-line. It is better than years previous, but it's still shaky. It's still trying to gel together, and it's still learning. We got a rookie, Evan Neal, on the one end, and a third-year pro, and Andrew Thomas on the other. It's going to be shaky. I chalk it up as a loss. That is 0-1 to start the year. It's going to be tough. Titans are a very good team, and the Giants are a very young, rebuilding team. But I believe as long as they can stay competitive in these games, that will lead them to nice wins later on and starting to build back where the Giants used to be, and that is contending for Super Bowls. I believe we're in the step in the right direction. I believe Brian Dable is the right guy to get us there, and I believe General Manager Joe Shane can put the good team together when he has all the chips and all the money that he possibly can, and you don't have a loser like Dave Gettleman wasting all everyone's money. But yeah, that's a tough week 1. That's 0-1 on the year. Week 2, you got home against the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers are kind of a similar team like the Giants have been. Matt Rule was hired the same year the Giants hired head coach Joe Judge, but the only difference is Joe Judge just lasted one less year than Matt Rule has. I believe unless the Carolina Panthers can turn around this year, I believe this will be Matt Rule's last year in Carolina. They have a quarterback competition brewing in Carolina and in camp. Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. The Panthers traded for Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield once the Browns signed Deshaun Watson out of his rub and tugs. So you got quarterback competition. I don't think any of those quarterbacks are really that good. I don't think they're much better than Daniel Jones. But I think we will beat them. I think our defense with Don Wink Martindale is going to be getting after Baker Mayfield, who is projected to be the number 1 starter in Carolina. I think we will win that game. First home game of the year. I think the crowd's going to be into it. Everyone's going to be pumped up. So we're going to be 1-1 after that. Week 3, we stay at New York, or East Rutherford, I may say. We stay in New York, New Jersey, and we bring the Dallas Cowboys home with us. It's always a tough matchup with Dallas versus the Giants. I hate Zeke and those boys. CeeDee Lamb. It's always a tough game. But I believe we're going to win this one. I believe that we're going to be rejuvenated and just keeping that same energy, same positivity coming from the Carolina home win. We're home again under the lights in MetLife. I will chalk it up as a close win, but a win indeed, and we will be 2-1. After that, week 4, home against the Bears. Now, this game is pretty interesting. The Giants have traded their pick a couple years ago for the Bears to select Justin Fields. Right now, that hasn't really panned out too well. They are still a young, rebuilding team with a new head coach. We'll see how they are, but I like the Giants in that game as well. They're home. They're more experienced than the Bears. Daniel Jones, I believe, is better than Justin Fields as of now. Wait and see later. But I like that game as well. 3 home games in a row against okay teams. At least 2 of those teams not that good when the Bears and the Panthers. I'm going to chalk it up as a win. And I think the Giants roll out of the gate surprisingly 3-1. I'm trying to be ultra positive right now. 3-1, that's a great start, but this is where the schedule kind of takes a turn for the worst. And we'll see how we end up. After that, we play in London against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. That's a loss. Out of New Jersey, very long trip across the pond. It's going to be tough, especially when you have to play Aaron Rodgers. The Packers are missing their number one target in Devontae Adams. He fled in the offseason to Las Vegas to team up with his college quarterback in David Carr. But still, the Packers still got Aaron Rodgers, and as Stephen A. always says, he is a bad man, and he is a bad man indeed. And I think that's going to be a loss. So the Giants will be 3-2 after that. Then they come back home to New Jersey and take on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson is a former MVP of the league. The Ravens are a great team, good head coach in Harbaugh. They know what they're doing. They got J.K. Dobbins coming back. They got a formidable running game, starting with J.K. and Lamar Jackson. They got a pretty good defense. They drafted Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame in the first round of this year's draft. I believe that's going to be a loss, but I think we'll be competitive. I think we'll be close. I just don't trust our O-line too much, and I think Daniel Jones is going to be under pressure a lot in that game. So I think we'll be 3-3 after that. Then we go out west or out south, down south to Jacksonville and take on Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson and company. Doug Peterson, the Jacksonville Jaguars' first-year head coach. I think they'll be better than they were last year, but I don't think they'll be too good. But I think this is a trap game. I think Jacksonville will shock us. We always fall down to our opponent, and I think Jacksonville Jaguars will actually take this game, and the Giants will be on to 3-4. After that, we play at Seattle. No Russell Wilson, no problem. Don't matter if Geno Smith or Drew Lock's the quarterback. If we can go out there out west against Russell Wilson with Colt McCoy on a worse Giants team than we have now and beat them, we will beat them soundly, I believe, and we will move on to 4-4. Then we have our bye week. Players will rest up, and that is good. After that bye week, we host one of the worst teams in the NFL with no Deshaun Watson, the Houston Texans. Who knows who their quarterback will be? Who knows anything? Texans stink. Giants are better. Giants win that. We will move on to 5-4. Then we go to the head home against the Lions in New Jersey. Dan Campbell and company, Jared Goff. They got some good guys like St. Brown, the receiver, Swift, their running back's very good as well. I think this is going to be a tough game. I really do. Dan Campbell's teams fight. They play hard for him. They seem to like him very much as their head coach. And I think we will actually lose this game, surprisingly. I just think this is just a trap game, a tough opponent. It could go either way. I'm going to chalk it up as a loss. 5-5 after that. Then we go out down to Dallas in Jerry's World. Again, divisional opponent. We got them at our home stadium. I really think they take this one in Jerry's World. They're just too good at home. That would be 5-6 on the year. It's going to be tough. Again, it's really going to be tough, these division games. I think we will split with most of all the teams. I think we sweep Washington. I don't think they're that good, but we'll get to that later. And here comes Washington, December 4th in New Jersey, home against the Commanders. Carson Wentz, he might be hurt by then. Who knows? But I don't think Washington's very good. They got a lot going on with their shitty owner, Dan Snyder. They got Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry. He's a very good receiver. Probably one of the best, if not the best, wide receiver in the NFC East and in the NFC entirely. But I think we win that game. They're just not as good as we are. They're still rebuilding. Carson Wentz isn't that very good of a quarterback. So I think we move on to 6-6. Then we play the Dirty Birds from Philly, the losers. Fuck the Eagles. We play them at home. I'm going to chalk this one up as a loss, though. We don't really play them too well at home. We always win those games at Philly. Jalen Hurts, he's going to have a prove-it year to see if he deserves that contract extension by their pizza boy GM, Howie Roseman. I think they beat us in a close game, as always. I think they just take the one at home, so we'll move on to 6-7. It's just a tough game, and we usually always lose at the Giants against the Eagles. Then we go out to Washington and face the Commanders again. 2 short weeks. We play the Commanders. I keep calling them the Redskins. They will always be the Redskins in my mind, but they are the Washington Commanders. So I'll try to learn the new lingo. We head to Washington D.C. and that won't be a problem. We will be 7-7 after that. 2 wins against the Redskins in 3 weeks. That's great. And then we move forward. We play at Minnesota. That's a tough one. Justin Jefferson, Thielen. They got Dalvin Cook. They got Kirk Cousins coming off a tremendous season last year. I believe he only threw like 2 or 3 interceptions. He just played phenomenal all season. I'm not sure how they missed the playoffs, but I think they'll be back in the playoff hunt this year. Vikings are good. They're good at home. They're good in the dome. The Skull fans will be chanting loud. It's going to be a tough one for the Giants, who are still a very young team. We will move to 7-8 after that. Then we come home to face Matt Ryan and his Indianapolis Colts. I believe around that week they're going to be tough. They're going to be vying for a playoff position, possibly even a division title in the AFC South. Matt Ryan's good. They got the best running back in the league in Jonathan Taylor, a tremendous O-line, a great defense, a great linebacker led by Darius Leonard. It's going to be a tough game. I really do think that we could win it just because a dome team from the South coming to New Jersey. It's January 1st. It's the day after New Year's. Could be a little hungover on that plane ride here. Who knows? But I think, with all the stuff they have going for them, probably around that time of year, division title probably up for grabs, playoff berth seedings, clinching, all that jazz. It's going to be tough to beat them. Matt Ryan's a veteran quarterback, Hall of Fame quarterback, and I just think that that'll be a tough game to win. So I have the Giants at 7-9, and their last game to end the year in Philly. They will win. They will win because they will split, and who knows? Maybe the Giants are jockeying for a wild card playoff berth at that point. Maybe it's a game whoever wins the last playoff seed. Who knows? But I believe we will split with the Eagles as well as everyone in our division. And I think we win that game. And I have the Giants ending the season at 8-9. 8 wins. That's a huge improvement from last year's 4 wins. 8 wins. We are in the right direction. Our new coach is good. If this is our record, Daniel Jones will be our quarterback next year. Maybe not a contract extension, but maybe a franchise tag to see if he can do it 2 years in a row. But that's the record I have, 8-9. As always, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and let's go G-Men.